What do we have for Cancer? Cancer, right now, there's a lot of big changes taking place in your life. There's a lot of endings and there's a lot of new beginnings that are preparing to unfold for you. But before you hit this next level in the game, there's a lot of obstacles and challenges that you're going to come up against, or you may already be coming up against these. Now, as long as you are aware of what is taking place astrologically right now, and what I mean by this is in regards to the retrogrades right now. Now's not a time to be gambling on any new people, any new connections. Now's the time to be fully focused on yourself, your path, and doing whatever you can to better your situation, to make sure that you cross the threshold into this new timeline as unscathed as possible. There's an absolute energetic storm. There's an energetic kind of war underway right now. And all of us are getting a little taste of this in some capacity in our own waking lives. You may be finding individuals trying to creep back up from the past. You may be finding new people just out of nowhere trying to get into your energy. And one of the messages that I got right before I hit record was in regards to you entertaining people and their karma being mirrored onto you. So this could have to do with an individual that you entertain, let's just say. And once you start mixing your energies with theirs, so to speak, you find that there's all these strange, weird obstacles unfolding on your path, perhaps after a time of things going relatively smoothly. And what this is the universe saying to you, okay, you want to entertain that person in your life? Well, let us show you what kind of karma you will be dealing with when you mix energies with an individual who is on a lower vibrational timeline than you. And one of the other messages I got for this reading was in regards to vibration. Your vibration is the average of all of those that surround you, right? We always hear, you are the sum total of the 5 closest people to you, right? But when this actual download came through, it was very interesting, but it made perfect sense. So let's just say our vibration was on a scale of 1 to 10, right? And 10 being the highest. And you're in a room with 5 other people. Your vibration is a 10, right? 2 of these people have a vibration that's registering as a 1. One of these people has a vibration that registers as a 2. And the other 2 individuals have vibrations that register at a 3 and 4. Now, if you take your vibration that's a 10 and you average all of these numbers together, you get 3.5. Now, this is an interesting way of giving you this example, okay? Because it's something that I've never gotten before, and it makes absolute perfect sense. These types of situations are being highlighted at this time, Cancer, because of the amount of distractions that you're getting from outside forces. So you need to be very aware of this. You know, there are a lot of people that don't understand how vibration work, and they think that if they get around people with a low vibration, that they'll automatically be able to lift people up to where they are. But what these individuals fail to understand is that those individuals have to go through the same amount of work as they did to get to where they are. Now, Cancer, think about all the work that you have done on yourself in recent years in regards to your path, self-healing, self-care, the overall process of awakening. Now, think about some of these other individuals being tasked with the same thing. It's almost impossible to imagine any of them even attempting to do this, right? But because of the times we are in astrologically, it seems to be that individuals are feeling left behind by the universe. They feel envious of your growth. They feel like it's unfair. But Cancer, you know just as well as I do that all of these individuals were given the exact same chance as you to get their life back on track. But they chose to not pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities they were getting while you were doing all the hard work. Hell, a lot of these people created more challenges for you. But now, here we are on this timeline where there's no mercy for anyone. There's 2 kinds of people inside the collective right now. There's the people that have done the work, and there's the people that haven't done the work. And those that haven't done the work are now dealing with a reality that reflects that. And there's nothing that you or anybody else can do about it. It's all a part of their karma and their judgment, which takes me directly back to the message surrounding your vibration being the average of those that you surround yourself with, which has a direct impact on karma that will be assigned to you should you entertain these energies. And what's interesting about the average of vibrations is that by lowering your vibration down to a 3.5, you're now having to deal with karma that aligns with another individual that actually has that vibration, that is being guided by the universe to put the work in to raise their vibration, right? So it's as if you are having to walk a path that you've already walked because of the individuals that you are giving an audience to. And I have the Hangman, Pisces energy, right on the bottom of the deck, okay? So this Hangman's interesting because we see you hanging upside down, right? But it's all about perspective and letting go. You're seeing things from this perspective that we're speaking of here. And there's all these individuals attacking you. It's like they are, I mean, how many people are there? Well, I think there's 6 people there, but let's just say, for the sake of example, that's representing the 5 people. And I just got a really loud ringing in my ear, okay? So I feel that this message that I'm giving all of you here, not only is it right on target, but I'm delivering it in a way to where you should be able to understand this, right? Because it's a very simple kind of message with a very deep meaning. It's very important that you keep pushing forward, Cancer. They wanted me to take that Hangman, even though it didn't come out of the deck, because it speaks about the message that I'm being guided to deliver to all of you here. You need to start looking at your life and all the work that you've put into yourself from a higher vantage point. You need to start asking yourself how the universe would want you to respond to certain things when you come in contact with them. There's a lot of people in the collective right now that are desperate. There's a lot of people that are in dire straits. There's a lot going on. And it's one of these times where the best advice that I could give to anybody who's walking their spiritual path, so to speak, is to just steer clear, right? Just get out of the way, focus on yourself, and not make any risky moves right now that could possibly end you up in hot water, right? You know, one of the big misconceptions about walking a spiritual path is that individuals think that you're always going to be cloaked from the storms, and this is another huge misconception, because not only are you not going to be cloaked from all the storms, but the universe is actually going to use you to create an example for the rest of the individuals that haven't began walking that spiritual path themselves. And what do I mean by this? Well, Cancer, let's just say it's like you're an employee of the divine. The divine assigns certain tasks for you. Now, if you decide to step out of alignment with those certain tasks and you decide to take some sort of risky move, well, then the universe is going to see that as an opportunity to not only bring a new lesson into your life, but to use you as a way to deliver that message to other people. And this comes back to individuals that are chosen for specific things. Chosen individuals deal with karma instantly. A lot of people think, again, that individuals who are walking an enlightened path don't have to deal with karma. And this is just so far from the truth. The whole reason why you are the person you are is because of everything that you've had to overcome in your life and the great wisdom that you have gained in order to do so. The universe uses you as a vessel to deliver that wisdom back to the rest of the collective because you are experienced enough to do so. So again, any opportunity that the universe, that the divine sees to be able to arm you with more wisdom through another struggle, they will use it. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Nine of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag energy at the solar plexus. This Nine of Wands energy is so strong in the collective right now. Even just pulling spreads in between personals or collective readings, I feel like I just keep seeing the Nine of Wands. It really speaks about what you're about to come into grand alignment with, is what I just heard very clearly, Cancer. And this is why there's these storms that are taking place around a lot of you right now. You know, I feel that some of you might be put in situations where you feel like you need to help individuals that probably don't deserve your help, okay? And I understand that every situation is circumstantial, so you'll have to take each one as it comes. But don't put yourself in a position right now, Cancer, where you're having to give up any part of your stability, your safety, your security, or anything close to this as a means to help somebody else who may not deserve it. Because even though your heart is in the right place, there can be karma associated with this, right? It's like the universe saying, hey, why did you help that person? They don't deserve it, and we're actually working with them right now. We're trying to teach them some lessons so they don't end up in this situation again. So just back away, Cancer. Okay, we're dealing with this. This is very much the tone inside the collective right now. It's very serious, okay? And there's, again, no mercy for light workers, no one, okay? If you're on your path, you're on your path. Stay on your path, but don't step off. Keep it pushing and stay fully engaged on what it is that you may be working on. You know, in the collective reading, I was talking about how we have these massive dips before we have a level up. And this is what I'm feeling for you as well, Cancer. I feel that a lot of you are really focused on something. You have some sort of vision. You have something that you're moving towards, okay? And what's going to happen is once you get on the other side and you're surrounded by whatever that may be, you're going to look back and you're going to see very clearly that what is taking place right now was some sort of unexplainable force that was trying to keep you from where you are getting ready to elevate yourself to. There's a lot of people that are being exposed right now inside the collective. You're really starting to see people for who they really are. There's a lot of people that have had God's name in their mouth and have been living in alignment with the devil. You know, there's a lot of people that like to put labels on themselves. I am an empath. I am a chosen one. Okay, but typically speaking, Cancer, from my own experience, people who feel the need to get validation from other people by putting these labels on themselves are in fact not to those things at all, okay? Because there's individuals that actually say these things because they're trendy, right? Everybody wants to say they're a chosen one. Everybody wants to say that they're an empath. Everybody wants to say that they're a light worker, but the way they move says otherwise. You know, I recently saw a comment underneath one of my videos. This particular video had, 400 comments underneath it, all very positive, actually not a single negative comment. And then one person left this comment that was very rude, very negative, and didn't even make sense with the actual message of the video. This person said some very disturbing things about me. And so I clicked on this person's profile, and this person had a handful of videos on their profile, no views. I think maybe one video had like 30 views on it, but no subscribers. All their thumbnails were black, so it was just a person talking. And this person is basically bragging about being an empath, right? This person sounded very narcissistic, and it made perfect sense with the comment that they left. And afterwards, I was thinking, this person is calling themselves an empath. But the irony here is that this person's calling themselves an empath, but they're hurting other people on purpose. There's another individual that attracted my attention recently as well, another tarot reader who always has other people's names in her mouth, just constantly speaking down on other people that she probably doesn't even know. This person calls herself a chosen one, okay? But here she is out there trying to break people down and to hurt other individuals. People who are actually, let's say, chosen or are actual empaths don't concern themselves with this sort of behavior. They focus on their path. They lead by example. So pay attention to all of this right now, because this is something that's being highlighted in this reading, and it's really something that you can see very clearly now. Which brings me back to the message about everybody sharing in karma with those that we may support that are not in vibrational alignment. And then I have 8 of Cups, Pisces energy on the bottom of the deck, right? So moving on from these energies, right? And see how he's holding, looks to be his solar plexus region right there, right? Right here. And then 7 of Cups, it's like this trickster energy that is inside the collective, smoke and mirrors, right? Look at me, I'm an empath. Look at me, I'm a chosen one. But this person is leading people off of their path, leading people astray. This has happened since the beginning of time, especially in spiritual communities. There's these sort of implants that will set themselves up inside these spaces. Let's say, for example, the tarot community, because it's something that we can all relate to. And these people will accumulate a group of subscribers, some followers, so to speak. And then it's like they shift on a dime, right? And they start pushing this other kind of narrative through their speakings, through their teachings, so to speak, right? And these other individuals are now a part of that. It's like they're ministering to these people. These people become their kinds of minions. And a lot of people don't even realize what it is they're entertaining, but energetically speaking, it's a whole different story. This is why, and I was speaking about this in the collective reading, it's so important that you think about things in terms of energy and vibration. Now more than ever, it's so incredibly crucial, because this is really the deciding factor whether or not you level up. Right? The universe doesn't look at things in terms of all the little details in your life, right? All the little missteps you've taken or what you may have done to one person or whatever. They look at everything in terms of the sum total of your vibration, because all of the steps and actions you take in your life equate to that vibration. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow, I didn't even see this Two of Swords. Tower and Two of Swords. Unbelievable. Mars, Aries, Scorpio energy. Dead center of the reading with that Tower. Two of Swords, Libra energy at the throat. This speaks on everything I've been saying here, Cancer. This Tower, this is that destruction that's taking place inside the collective. It also indicates the level up, right? It's like the lightning bolt that's striking this tower down can't determine the fact that you may be standing in there, right? And that you mean well, okay? The lightning bolt only knows that they have to strike this tower down, however that may show up, right? Because this low vibrational person here who's living out of alignment with the divine's will for their life needs to receive karma. And you, by way of proxy, are affected by the blast zone, so to speak. You know, you may have somebody literally come into your life. Could be a new person, could be a family member, could be an old friend, could be anybody that is presenting you with a problem they have. So you try to do something to help them. And then all of a sudden, you're having the exact same problem unfold in your life, just out of nowhere. This is how obvious the divine is making it right now, Cancer. You know, and it's during this period of time when you may be faced with a tempting offer, or somebody might really be pulling on your heartstrings, okay? But we're very much in a time where it's either you or them, okay? And you need to understand that you have a responsibility, you have a mission, and these individuals will completely sacrifice their own well-being to try and knock you off your path because they've been programmed by some sort of opposing force to do so. It's like the devil uses these individuals as extensions of his will for your life, no matter the cost. And then we have the Two of Swords, Libra energy at the throat. Some kind of a stalemate here, Cancer. It's like you entertain this energy and you quickly regret it. You recognize almost immediately that you made some sort of error in judgment, and you feel like you almost can't get yourself out of a situation, not without taking a pretty big loss to do so, however that may show up for you. You're being called on right now by the divine, depending on what you're dealing with, to make a decision. Do you choose you or do you choose them? And what a message to deliver to Cancers, because you are by far, in my experience, the most giving of all the zodiac signs, so much so that you'll do it to your own detriment. Cancers can be known to sacrifice their own well-being for another. A lot of the times, you'll do it because you think that Source has your back, that Spirit will take care of you, but this isn't true. Spirit would never require you to put yourself in harm's danger for another. It's something that I feel has been programmed into, well, I think pretty much all the water signs, right? Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This is something that I always hear about. As a Scorpio, this is something I can definitely relate to. I've been guilty of doing this as well. And it always comes with a very, very hard lesson. But I will say this, Cancer, that 100% of the time, the reason for this has to do with some sort of shadow work that you most likely need to address. A lot of the times, we may think that we have healed those parts of ourselves and overcome something, but then you're faced with an event that maybe mirrors something in your past and you feel like you're right back at square one again. A lot of the times, Cancer, the way we know we're healed from these things is by simply not entertaining them at all, is by stepping aside and allowing the universe to take care of it, not intervening in God's will. And I know that none of you purposely did that. Nobody would be that moronic to interfere in God's will, but it just comes down to something that a lot of water signs deal with, right? Because you just don't want other people to hurt. You don't want other people to feel bad. You want to help take away people's suffering because most likely you've been there before yourself. But Cancer, what allowed you to grow and develop beyond all of that yourself, right? It was spirit. It was the divine. It was God. Which brings me back to the fact that we're in a time where you just need to allow people to go through their own storms themselves. Now, again, everything is circumstantial, okay? So if you're sitting here thinking to yourself that your 16-year-old son or daughter is stuck in dire straits and you think that I'm delivering a message to you not to help them for whatever reason, I'm not. Okay, this message is probably not for you. I'm talking about situations with individuals where you will end up hurt, where you will end up in the same situation as them, okay? So really just use your better discernment here. There's going to be thousands of people watching this video, okay? So if the message resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, that's okay too, but never force the message to fit. What do we have at the third eye, please? Wow. Here we are talking about mothering, right? Children. And what do we get? The Empress, which is the mother of the tarot. Libra, Taurus, Venusian energy. But in order to completely encompass this energy, you need to know when to say no. This reading is for male and female. Genders don't matter here, okay? There's such a strong message here about being careful with the decisions you're making at current, because you might just make a decision. I'm getting a lot of ringing in my ears right now because I feel like we're right on top of the message. You could make a decision that could cause you to dethrone yourself, so to speak, right? Or could cause you to take a pretty big hit. Again, the blast zone, right? You know, Cancer, for a lot of you, you're actually being put in this position right now because it's all a part of closing out specific karmic cycles that you have overcome in your own life. Now, let me explain how a karmic cycle works. And for the sake of example, I'm going to use something very general so you can all understand how this works. Now, let's say there's a child, 8 years old. His living environment's very toxic. Let's say, for example, he has a very verbally and even physically abusive parental figure, let's say his father. As he grows up with this wounding. He goes through his own spiritual awakenings and he heals that kind of inner child, right? And what that typically means is as you get older and you're healing that, it's basically you being there for that child when they were 8, when nobody else would be, right? That's how I see connecting with your inner child and doing the shadow work. Now, as this child is getting older, he is now finding himself in situations that are very similar to what he dealt with as a child. Maybe he's witnessing another parental figure now being abusive towards another child. There's been a role reversal, or there's been this sort of shifting in perspectives. This is how karmic cycles unfold in your life. Usually, we'll find ourselves in different positions that are directly related to the positions that the individuals were standing in for these karmic cycles. Or maybe this individual grows up and has a child of their own. And rather than carrying that generational curse, so to speak, through the family lineage and treat his child the way that his father treated him, he's the complete opposite, right? He loves the child. He is there for the child. He's a good, solid role model for that child. This is a very basic example of breaking a generational curse. Think about all these situations, right, that you've probably all heard of. And rather than hearing it from that perspective, you hear it from the perspective of history repeating itself, right? The abused becomes the abuser, right? But this is different here for you, Cancer. You have all done a lot of work, and I feel that you're going to find yourself in some situation similar to this, right? Things that allow the universe to let you know how far you've come, to let you know that you have broken the chains that bind. A lot of what I'm pulling through here could be energetically connected to some of this for you, depending on what your situation is. It's like these energies can feel you graduating on from this particular karmic cycle, but they're trying to present you with tests that would re-engage you in that generational curse. Wow. Eight of Pentacles, Tower, the Sun. So this Eight of Pentacles, Virgo energy, is really speaking to me about all the work that you've put in, Cancer, okay? And see how the Tower is standing in this card, right? And the lightning bolts aren't hitting the Tower. It's like you've averted the disaster now. And then Sun, right? The most high vibrational card in the tarot. And there's a child there, right? It's like healing your inner child. And then Star. And there's that Knight of Wands again. Hope and faith. You're in this, wow, I just heard, see the star, it represents being in the spotlight, right? However that shows up in your life, in your reality. But I just heard you're in the spotlight of your family ancestry, right? It's like your ancestors see you as this kind of star. You're like a rock star in spirit because of what you've had to overcome here. And this is a very challenging channeling because the messages are very deep. They're very detailed. So being able to deliver this to all of you in a way that can be understood is not easy. Okay, this is quite a challenging energy we have here, Cancer, but I feel as we're developing, it's becoming clearer and clearer what's taking place here. Seven of Wands, Leo energy at the crown. It's like you have come up against all these attacks, all these weapons that have been formed against you. And now you've gotten to the point where you realize that not engaging is the key, right? Here they are trying to attack you with the wands, poking you, right? This is basically what this represents. But what do? You drop down to your knees and you pray. You understand that engaging these energies is a one-way ticket back into the cycle that you are now graduating on from. Wow, that really says it all. You understand that your vibration is the average of those you surround yourself with or engage with in that moment. What do we have at the foundation, please? Four of Wands, Aries energy, person at the foundation. Cancer, there's this very ungrateful energy that I'm picking up on as well. And I feel like this is directly related to who you may be dealing with here or who may come onto your path to distract you, right? Pay attention to this. It gives me the energy of instant regret, right? Have you ever helped out somebody before and you really stuck your neck out for somebody and they're ungrateful? They just almost act like they were entitled to your help or assistance in some way, which speaks directly on what I said in regards to you thinking that by helping these individuals that you're doing something good or you're doing something that maybe you think spirit would want you to do, right? But it could just be, Cancer, as well, especially with this tower right there at the heart. And this message has come through in a few readings lately, that you were the last stop for this individual, their last stop before karma. And whether or not you help them, they're still going to get that karma. But the only difference is if you help them, that karma is also going to hit you too, because what I said about the blast zone, right? What do we have, the sacral, please? Knight of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy at the sacral. This person's very irresponsible, Cancer, that I'm picking up on. This is like an individual that maybe came to you in a really vulnerable way. Maybe they were acting really desperate, like they needed help. Maybe they needed you to loan them some money or something. So you do. And then you find out that they don't actually spend the money on what they actually needed it for to get themselves out of that jam, but they spend it on something ridiculous, right? Like something material. It's like they tell you that, they're going to get their electricity shut off if they don't have this amount of money. So you get them all the money to pay for their electricity bill. And what do? They go out and buy a bottle, or they buy some weed, or they buy something stupid with it, right? This is what I'm getting here. So now is this person not only still in the same situation they were in before, you're down a few bucks, and this person is probably indulging in something that they shouldn't be, all by way of your funding, okay? Basic example there, but I'm sure a lot of you can use your imagination there and place that as it fits, okay? This is the kind of idiocy that a lot of you are dealing with right now. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Too many cards. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Tower again. This is the third tower that we've seen. Tower, and then we saw it at the bottom of this deck, and now we have it right here. Unbelievable. They're really driving this message home here, Cancer, because this tower from this deck is all about averting a disaster, right? This is basically the warning. Don't entertain this individual. Don't put yourself in a position to where you're inside the blast zone. This person has karma coming their way, right? It's like somebody who has been on this path that's out of alignment with the divine's will for their life. So the divine sends out, right, the lightning bolt, or let's just say a heat-sinking missile, okay? And it's already on its way, and then this person comes across your path and is like, hey, Cancer, I was wondering if you could help me. And then you're like entertaining this person when the heat-sinking missile hits, right? This is exactly what I'm getting here. This is very real, Cancer, okay? This is, I've seen this. I've been through this myself, okay? I'm hearing stories about tons of people inside the collective going through this. Get out of the way. Otherwise, you will be hit with the shrapnel, so to speak, from this blast, okay? There's nothing that you can do to help this individual. The best thing that can happen for them is that this heat-sinking missile reaches them, right? To knock some sense into them and get them back on the right path. I can't deny what I'm looking at here as well, Cancer, and what I'm feeling, but some of these people, it's not looking too good for them. Let me just say that, okay? And anybody who knows tarot can look at this spread right here and also see what I'm seeing here. Mars, Aries, Scorpio energy with this tower again. Pluto, Mars, plus the other tower, more Mars energy. Destruction. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow. Nine of Pentacles, Amdusius, making mistakes, right? See, this is how they show up. Like, I don't know, I just need help, right? I don't know how I got myself in this situation, right? It's like they're trying to make you feel sorry for them. This person knows exactly what they're doing. See, the reason why the energies are so unforgiving at the moment in regards to individuals that are even on their path that, maybe try to put themselves out to help somebody is because it's a form of enabling. And we've just gotten to the point now where the shifts are taking place and there's no sort of like being lukewarm. There's no sort of like, okay, we'll hold on for you, right? The shift is here. It's happening now. This energy also speaks about somebody who's just trying to take advantage of you. It's like they feel very isolated in this energy. So they want to drag somebody down with them. Crabs in a barrel mentality, okay? It's like somebody inviting you over to hang out when they know damn well that they're about to be raided by the police because of a bunch of illegal things that they were up to. Hey, Cancer, you want to come over and hang out, right? Kind of a funny example, but it should be simple enough to where you guys get what I'm putting down here. And then we have the Eight of Cups, EIL, transformation. You're literally in the middle of a transformation here. See, this is one of these moments where the scales are tipping. You're on your way up. You're elevating, and they're going down, right? Karmic retribution, the scales have to tip in accordance with universal law. But it's like they're trying to pull you onto their scale, right, as they're going down. And they're using your own weakness against you, your soft heart and emotion, Cancer. They're trying to drag you back into your shadow, because the end result of all of that is you hardening your heart, becoming very bitter, right? Shadow Cancer energy. So even though you have a soft heart, you must protect it. You mustn't allow others who don't deserve it to access it. Only those who truly need it and deserve it should you allow to access it. And I truly believe that once you fully understand this, Cancer, the divine will let you know when it's okay and when it's not. But because of the energies and what's taking place astrologically right now, it's really hard to discern, who's been sent by the divine and who hasn't. So if you feel like you're uncertain, just step back. You're better off just saying no for the time being. What do we have at the throat, please? Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Raphael. God has healed. Heals all disorders. Protects travelers and medical workers, right? So whenever I get this card, it makes me think of healers, right? Individuals inside the collective that are on their path and are in concert with the divine, doing exactly what the divine has guided them to do, okay? This is also speaking about you now graduating on to the next timeline. Very clear, the Wheel of Fortune is all about timelines, destiny energy. It's all about life cycles. So you actually step onto the next timeline, right underneath that Two of Swords, right? You or them. You can go backwards or you can go forward. And then we get the Wheel of Fortune right underneath it. Couldn't have asked for a better card to get right here. And there's a lot of fortune that's actually attached to this as well, Cancer, because this is all a part of your spiritual inheritance. Graduating on to new timelines is a form of spiritual inheritance, because it's during these times in our life that we're receiving higher guidance, downloads, ideas, things we can implement into our waking life, whether they're new business practices or something else. This is all encompassing right here. And look how far you've come to get to this point. You made it. You're gonna make it. But this is what you need to be aware of on your path. What do we have at the third eye, please? Five of Cups, Scorpio energy at the third eye. Veu-ia, God, King, and Ruler. Prosperity, destruction of the enemy, and deliverance from bondage. Energy of moving on, Cancer. It's like hope flooding back through. I'm also hearing you realize that you made the right decision. Some of you may feel guilty, right? But this is going to go away. You're going to see that there is a mechanics to the way the universe is working. And you're going to be so glad that you kept it pushing. You didn't entertain this energy. Because you'll be looking back on a timeline that you could have risked not graduating on from. What do we have at the crown to close out for Cancer, please? I knew justice was going to come out when I was speaking about it. Kal-El, the invocable God, makes truth known in court, causes innocence to prevail. So here we are now, seeing the scales tip. Universal law. Everything being balanced in your favor. Because you followed the divine's will for your life, and you understood the divine's will for these other individuals' lives as well, as not to get in the way and to keep pushing forward in power. And the knowing that there's a specific mechanics that is at play at all time, thus arming you with a newfound sense of wisdom on how karma and the seasons of our lives play out in perfect concert with universal law. Cancer, this is the message I have available to all of you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donations, Cancer. Take care.